The title of my thesis is The Error of an Interpreter in Criminal Justice. In the legal context, the translator rule is extremely important as she deals with sensitive issues that significantly affect all parties involved. This essential great responsibility, especially in cases where the judge has the final say and bases his decision on the translation performed. In Italy, to perform this rule, one must pass a state exam and register in the registers kept by the court clerk's office and then be summoned. The translator is considered an auxiliary of the judge, but the presence of the interpreter in the courtroom makes the trial a bilingual event and requires close cooperation between lawyer, interpreter, and defendant, as the interpreter is the main mediator of the discourse. If the interpreter function is to eliminate language barrier to allow for gain suspect, a defendant or victim fair access to justice, it is important to reflect on her role and the burden of responsibility. In Italy, the Associazione Italiana Traduttori Interpreti Giudiziari has developed a code of ethics based on principles shared by other professions and on deontological principles established by Professional Association of Legal Translators and Interpreters Board. The code of ethics required the interpreter to be extremely impartial during the trial, to be prohibited from communicating with the third parties, and if the interpreter does not understand the language's technical terms or is not an expert in the field, she has a duty to refuse the assignment. People involved in the judicial process often speak in a technical manner or use complex words. This makes the job of interpreter who must correctly translate the word of the defendant or witness even more complicated. If the interpreter makes a mistake, it can cause a miscarrying of justice and convict an innocent person who caused a crime to unpunished. Occur place where translation error often occur. The interpreter must be responsible and point out any error or difficulties encountered during a translation. If she doesn't understand a part of the speech or has made a mistake, she must notify the judge or lawyers. It is important that the interpreter does not interfere with the process and merely points out any problem. This behavior will allow the judge to easily retrieve the translated segment from the transcript and distinguish them from misleading statements, a generalization according to which the goal of accuracy can be achieved by adopting an interpretation based on a literal rendering of what the parties have expressed. In Italy, we have a case of misrelation and in this specific case, also the lack of a cultural mediator. Adel Ben Slimane, 34 years old, graduated in business administration in Tunisia and arrived in Italy illegally in 2002. His family remains in Tunisia. When Ansel arrives in Italy, in Sanremo, he finds work in a construction company. Adel is religious and attends mosque from time to time when he can. Between 2003 and 2004, the Sanremo police arrest a mosque-goer the same as Adel. He is suspected of collaborating with an extremist and violent organization. From then on, all phones are tapped, including Adel. Adel's suffering began because of a telephone misunderstanding with his family members. Adel contacts his family asking when his documents and some local sweets will be sent to him. They return to the subject of documents and finally, Adel asks if they will also send him the Virgin. The interpreter in this case associates the word Virgina to the document, thus translating false documents virgins, when in fact in Arabic the word Virgina does not exist, but was simply a reference to a well-known local drink akin of soda. Adel claims that he said he wanted Virginia because he had seen a Formula One commercial had moreover simulated the noise of cars and for the translator that the noise was a way of communicating a mysterious code. Adel will be arrested on 20 November 2007, a few years after the phone call, because of the word Virginia and that misinterpreted noise. Adel will remain in prison for 2 years, 8 months and 2 days. Adel case is not the only one. We also have the case of Mohammed Free, known as the Yara Gambirasio case, one of the most media-savvy cases in Italy. Mohammed was investigated because he worked in the company where the dogs smuggled trace of Yara. Mohammed was charged for the murder of little Yara, also because of misrelation. Mohammed was released from prison thanks to the last translation performed. 3 to 6 experienced Arabic-speaking translation were commissioned to translate the word-up, and all the translation led to the conviction of poor Mohammed. After a short time, they opened a new file, and so both the judge and Mohammed's lawyer hired more interpreters. It was only after 16 translations that the last translation came out, placing all the charges on Mohammed. Thank you.